Good morning and welcome to Waking Up with Don. It's Medical Monday, and we have a very special lady here today in the way of Stephanie Breland. Stephanie is a nurse practitioner, and she works at nation's best family healthcare
That's correct.
up here in Lynn Haven. And you know, Dr. Nations is a regular on this show. And one by one, we're getting to meet his staff. And Stephanie is a very impressive lady, and I'd like you to meet her too. Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
You know, nurse practitioner for a lot of people is sort of a mysterious term. It's sort of a higher order of nurse, but not quite a doctor. How does one get to become a nurse practitioner?
Well, I like to define like a nurse practitioner as the mid-level provider. We're in the same context as a physician assistant. And you can go several different directions on becoming a nurse practitioner. One can become a registered nurse, which is what I did first at Gulf Coast here. And then I went and got my bachelor's through Florida State University while I was working as a nurse. And then I went and got my master's through the University of South Alabama in Mobile. Some people, they can go straight to a bachelor program and go into a master's prepared program. They're actually also converting some of those things now because they're moving to the nurse practitioners graduating with a doctorate. You know, so they're kind of phasing out the master's prepared, and most of the nurse practitioners now are graduating with a doctorate degree.
That's pretty amazing stuff. Now, would you recommend that to maybe there's a young lady who's watching right now who's considering a career in healthcare or in nursing? Would you recommend it to others, or is it one of those things that's like, I'm glad I did it, but I wouldn't do it again?
Oh, I most definitely recommend it. It's, you know, one of the things that's going on in America right now, especially in rural communities, is there's not a lot of availability to physicians. So the mid-level providers is growing astronomically. That career is growing a lot, and it is really rewarding.
And you can perform a lot of the functions a doctor can. And like you said, in rural communities, you know, there are people who have to drive into town to see their doctor, where maybe there's a nurse practitioner in their town or in their neighborhood that can do a lot of the things a doctor can do.
We do have to be, you know, physician supervised. You know, we don't in the state of Florida have to have a physician actually, you know, completely present, you know, in the building, but we do have to be physician supervised and have a correlation with a physician. So I think that's very important. I think that relationship with a physician, I like that. I like to have that
it's
availability.
Sort of like top cover, and if there's something that you may have a question on, you could always kick it up to the doc.
Exactly.
And you can get his, advice and counsel.
And then we all work together. We also, in our practice, have a physician assistant, and his name is Jim Dees, and we all collaborate.
Now, explain me this now. Now, a physician's assistant is, I don't want to say it's higher than a nurse practitioner, but is that a higher level of education?
No, it's typically about the same. A lot of physician assistants, they actually have a program that they go through that is tied with a medical school.
Do physician's assistants start out as nurses?
No, they do not start out as nurses. They actually, you know, they can start out as a nurse and then transfer over, but typically they go to school in a medical school facility that's tied to a medical school. And
because you got to understand, for a lot of people, the laymen, these are kind of mysterious terms. I mean, you hear them every day. You hear, you know, PA for physicians, you hear nurse practitioner, but for a lot of us, we're not sure what that means. You know?
And I know it is different, but they typically with the PA type program, they graduate with a bachelor's and then a certification with it. And
that certification is some sort of state board, is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, the certifications, in the state of Florida, you don't have to be certified to practice as a nurse practitioner, but you do, you know, it's good to have your national certification. It definitely, it's a type of board that you pass, and it definitely gives you a lot more, you know, abilities and leeways, and it just looks better on resumes and those types of things.
Yeah, I guess it would. And so either one of those career paths you would recommend to young people?
Yes, most definitely.
I mean, let's face it, not everybody has the wherewithal or the resources, you know, or the capability, quite frankly, to become an MD. I mean, that's a lifelong commitment. and it takes a long time to get there.
Yeah, it
but
does. And that's,
becoming a nurse and working your way up incrementally, that's attainable for someone
I was
who's
actually
determined.
going to medical school prior to, getting married and those types of things. And what this enabled me is still, because my husband was established here locally, and it enabled me to be able to stay here locally and go through school and go through the increments and have children and, be a mom and those types of things. So it enabled me to do a lot of different types of things.
There is a certain work-life balance that
There
sometimes
is,
you have to
definitely.
compromise on
You
some
do.
things. We've got to run off to the local
Okay.
weather, and while I wait for my coffee from Deja Brew out on the beach, but we're going to go to your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm. That's westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show. I'm speaking with Stephanie Breland from Nation's Best Family Healthcare. Am I saying that right?
You're
I always
saying that
always
right.
butchers that. I know it's Nation's Best.
That's right.
And I know Dr. Nations is just an awesome guy.
He really
I
is.
like working with him anyway.
I really enjoy it.
I mean, it's just the two of us talking. No one will know.
Yeah. It's,
Well, really, if you
that's
don't like him, you can tell me.
No, I actually like him a lot.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
One of the best physicians I've worked with, and I've been
Yeah.
with him almost a year now, so I really enjoy it.
You know, a good portion of medicine, they talk about the art of medicine, and a good part of that is that patient-doctor relationship.
That's very important.
And, he's such an approachable guy, and you feel so comfortable with him that you're willing to tell him anything he
Exactly.
needs to know to help you.
And that's the main thing is being a provider, we have to know your whole story. If you leave out things, then that can be something that you think is minute and doesn't mean anything, but it can mean a tremendous amount for us, in taking care of you as a patient.
Yeah, because you're really solving a mystery sometimes. People come in with symptoms that can be a variety of things.
And that's the fun thing. Sometimes that's kind of sad, but the truth of the matter is when you become, us in the medical field, that's what you enjoy. You enjoy the, digging and the, investigating and the researching and then truly trying to find a true diagnosis for a patient that, maybe we're struggling with symptoms that aren't really conventional, for a certain diagnosis.
Yeah, it's amazing what you people do. It's and then I guess there's got to be a lot of satisfaction when you actually help a person and they come back and they're feeling better.
It does.
Or looking better.
It makes you feel like what you're doing is worthwhile because some days in any job is a struggle, and you have patients that have significant health problems and you diagnose them with things that you don't want to diagnose them with. But then there's times when you do find something and you really help them and the patient feels, much better and they're of course so appreciative. We have, lots of patients that have been seeing different different physicians and medical providers for years and they don't really know what's going on. And then with the help of Dr. Nations and everything, we're able to kind of put together a puzzle for them.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a position where you can really save a life. You may have to bring people bad news. But that bad news can actually save them.
It can. It
If you
certainly
identify
can.
those type things early.
Very early. And that's where preventative medicine really comes into play. And that's one of the things that Dr. Nation is very concerned with and very much making sure that we are all following guidelines that the government produces and that wants us to complete certain preventative type services on a yearly basis, those types of things.
I know he even has a nutritionist on staff
Yes,
there now.
we have JT on staff, which is huge, and you don't see physicians that will invest into a nutritionist to be on staff in their office. And our goal is we really want to help patients become healthier, where they feel better, to become able to come off medications. And like we've had our diabetic patients that we've been able to either have them come off completely off their insulin or come off, at least reduce it some.
So
those are huge.
JT and you and that whole team there, offer that preventative medicine and give people the advice they need to maybe make a lifestyle
Exactly.
change. That can,
Which is, in school we all learn diagnosis, give a medication. That's which. Sometimes not the best thing. You need to give patients, options on things that they can do different, that maybe they can make some lifestyle changes prior to, getting on any type of medication.
Yeah, so so rather than just finding something wrong, writing a script and saying have a nice day.
Exactly. Explain it a little bit more.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's
spend
a little
bit more time.
consuming too. You know, like this business, you know, at TV, you know, every minute is money,
Exactly.
right? And I know it's got to be the same. Let's face it, medicine is a business.
It is.
When
We
you're
all
running-
have to make a living. We all have to feed
Yeah.
our families and take care
Nobody
of our
should work
families.
for free.
But you also have a moral obligation on, you know, how to take care of a patient, and that's one thing that I really like about Dr. Nation, is he really wants to do the true right thing. And we do have to have a business, we do have to provide for our employees, but in the all, if we do everything right like we're supposed to, it all comes out in the end, and it does, and we've done very well. We have been able to grow significantly.
Well, that's
So,
good. So it's not just move them in and move them out.
No.
Sometimes you got to spend that extra
You
time.
do. And if you do that in the beginning, a lot of times that then is all you need. You then, you know, really can really answer, you know, questions. And then after that, when you've got that squared away, it doesn't take as much time, you know, at the next visit. But we give the allotted time for each patient that is needed or required for them.
Stephanie Breland, nurse practitioner from
Thank
Nation's
you.
Best Family Healthcare. Thank you so much for
Well,
coming on the
thank
show.
you very much.
And
I
thanks
enjoyed it.
And thanks for explaining that acronym of that soup of acronyms. You know?
Yes, thank you.
ARNPC. And we'll be right back after a word from Zenobia.
Zenobia Andrews here, your business system strategist, and I am delighted to be bringing you your Max Biz tip for today. Now, our topic for today is procrastination and what it does to your potential. Procrastination and what it does to your potential. What is procrastination? You know, procrastination is forcing you to put things off that you need to do now. Delaying things, important things that you're responsible for and you're accountable for. Now, what are the effects of procrastination? Number one, it burns you out. It makes you feel like you have so much of anxiety and overload. And also it makes you feel lazy and unmotivated to do the things that you're accountable to do in your business, in your relationships. Procrastination has a way of affecting all of these different areas of your life. But I'm here to share with you that your potential is only as great as your will to fight off procrastination when she comes knocking on your door. So your potential is your power to overcome procrastination. And I'm here to tell you that you can do it. And the key to it is having that mindset of being a non-procrastinator. You know, we don't have time for that rush waiting to the last minute anymore, my friend. Today is your day to activate, to move now in what you're supposed to be doing in your business, in your relationships, as you're accountable in your life. Listen, I'm Zenobia Andrews, your business system strategist, and I am here to support you. You can reach me at www.zenoviaandrews.com. And if you follow me on social media, hey, I will definitely follow you back. Let's continue to press towards the max.
Welcome back to the show. I've got a couple gentlemen here who have a Navy history, and they're part of the Gulf Coast Petty Officers Association. Chief Petty Officers Association, and I've got the treasurer and the president here in the way of Gary Whitey White and Tommy Grant. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're Whitey, right?
How did you guess that?
I don't know, just a wild guess.
They call me many a thing. Yeah, why do you work?
Now tell me about the Gulf Coast Chief Petty Officers Association. What do you guys do?
The Gulf Coast Chief Petty Officer Association, we are a organization consisting of senior NCOs in the military, Navy. We started out in the Navy, and we opened it up to the other branches.
It really is like a fraternal organization that does community service.
Local,
is that right?
Yes.
All local,
say
so
that.
it's all Gulf Coast. Now, Tommy, do I have to be in the Navy to be part of this Gulf Coast Chief Petty Officers Association? Or
No.
can I be an Air Force senior NCO and
Yes,
still
you
join?
can be in the branch of service. You can be in Coast Guard
Okay.
in about the top 3, 7, 8, and 9. You can be active duty or you can be retired.
All right.
It does not matter. And like I say, it's a fraternity we have of the top 3. And we just volunteer. Everything we do is volunteer. And all the funds stay right here in Bay County. Over the years, this is our 20th year doing this golf tournament that we got coming up. Over the 20th year, we done donated over $48,000
Wow.
to kids here in Bay County.
So all the money that you raise through golf tournaments and other things that you arrange stays right here in the community.
Right here
Never
in the
leaves Bay
community.
County. There's no administrative cost. It dissolved out of none of this.
Because you're all volunteers, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah.
So,
volunteer.
you know, we go out and we take our spare time or whatever, and we
And I got to tell you, that's a good thing about organizations like you guys, and because something about military people and prior military people, they're really civic-minded, and they really make perfect citizens. You know, and I retired here. Not that I'm a perfect citizen, but you know, nobody's perfect. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
you know that we're all in this thing together, and why not use your senior NCO status to do good things for people, for your friends and neighbors?
we try to.
Yeah.
And so we try to get out into the community and get our name spread out, because everybody that's played in the golf tournament in the last 20 years, this is our 20th anniversary, by the way, that's coming up. And if anybody's ever played in that tournament, they'll tell you how much fun it is.
Now, do you guys play at the same course every year, Tommy, or does this move around?
No, we move around. The last few years, we played at Tyndall before they closed Tyndall. We played that for a few years. We played the
Which,
Holiday.
by the way, was a shame because
it was
a beautiful course.
Oh, that
I
was
heard,
wonderful.
I heard
That
they're
was
going to open up
wonderful.
I
the
know,
front nine, but
That was wonderful.
Yeah, pitchforks and torches over that one. 'Cause,
Exactly.
that
And
was-
now we went back
yeah.
to Bay Dunes. We went back to Bay Dunes, and Bay Dunes treat us very, very good, because Bay Dunes, we have 144 players.
Wow.
And that's a lot of players, and they accommodate us very well, and they support us. I can't take my head off enough for them, how Bay Dunes really support us and behind us all these years and accommodate us.
So it really takes community partners to help you do the good
Exactly.
things that you guys do. We have to run off to a break right now, but on the other side of that, maybe you can tell us how we can be part of this and how we can help the Gulf Coast Chief Petty Officers Association
Thank
do
you.
their good work. I got it right this time. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I'm speaking with Tommy Grant and Whitey Whites from the Gulf Coast Chief Petty Officers Association right here in Panama City, Florida. You guys have this great golf tournament coming up, and the money you raise from that is going to go to charity. How do I get a ticket? How do I get involved in this?
it's of the names that are on the flyers. You can contact any one of us.
Do you have a phone number or something
We
that you
have.
can give people?
I put the phone number in the paper. I can always be contacted at 850-628-3384.
628-3384.
That's my cell phone.
Okay.
And Tommy, here's the phone numbers here. Tommy can be contacted.
850-630-2457 if
Correct.
we want to be part of this whole thing.
Right.
Now, what do you guys really need to make this a success, besides golfers?
We need sponsors.
Okay.
We need people that want to put their name out there and sponsor a hole or even sponsor a team of some type. But that's what we really need, is the sponsors to build up.
I remember we used to do something like that in the Air Force. We used to have an annual Can-Am, Canadian American Golf tournament. We would have that all around. But we would have local community sponsors that would sponsor a hole. And that's not a very expensive thing to do, is it, Tommy?
No, it's not. For sponsor a hole, it's $200 to sponsor a hole, and it's $300 a team. If a sponsor want to submit a team, have a team and a sponsorship, we'll knock off $50, make it $450. The golf tournament is May the 9th out at Bay Dune, shotgun start, and we got more prizes. This is one of the better golf tournaments in Bay County, because everyone will win something.
I love those
Everyone,
kind of things.
when you check a board, you're going to get a shirt. Whitey's wearing the
This
the
is our
shirt for
20th
this
anniversary
year.
shirt.
Everyone will get a shirt. Everyone will get a shirt, and we give them a ditty bag with different little twinklets and stuff in it, golf balls and whatever. And we have a big raffle at the end of the golf tournament, and everyone will win. So I guarantee it.
Well, it sounds
you
like
will
a
leave
fun
with
day.
something.
Is there going to be
It's a fun
food and
day.
stuff there? We're going
Going to be food. We have dinner. We have light lunch. We have sodas and waters giveaway. We have a little adult beverages can be purchased.
For me, it's about a cart ride and the beer cart. You know, that's
It's a fun tournament. It's a very, very fun tournament. You're gonna have fun. I guarantee you're gonna have fun. I'm usually the MC, and we have the JROTC this year from Will Rutherford. They're
Awesome.
going to be our cutter guard, and this year we are giving out a scholarship check for $500 to a deserving student over at Gulf Coast Community College, and we also is raffling off a surfboard with our logo on it, a paddleboard with our logo on it. It's one of a kind. It's our 20th anniversary. It's one of a kind. This is $1,500 to $1,700 special made paddleboard. The tickets are $10 a ticket, or $6 for $50.
awesome.
And you can get a hold of myself or Whitey, anyone. Get a hold of me at 630-2457. You can get a hold of any other the members. And you do not have to be there to win this paddleboard. The only thing, we do not do shipping and handling.
All right, you got to come and pick it up yourself. Yeah. Well, we're so out of time, it's not funny, but Whitey, Tommy, thanks so much for all the good work that you do here in our community with the Gulf Coast Chief Petty Officers Association. And again, that is on, when's that coming up again?
May the 9th.
May the 9th.
8 o'clock at Bay Dunes Golf Course.
All right, be there or be square. We'll see you next time.